What happened when I did 30 videos? So, if you have been watching anything on this channel, I have just finished a series of 30 videos where I was posting every weekday. And this was an experiment that I designed for myself for my business I'm developing, but also to see if I liked this format, if I could continue to do. And I know that posting a video every weekday is a lot and too much for a lot of people, but I wanted to get as much data as I could in a shorter period of time. And I wanted to learn quickly. I did not want to space my videos out, even though I know that it's important algorithmically to have consistency. I really wanted to begin to develop and learn as fast as possible. And so this is what I've learned. So the first thing I learned is I want to be more me. And this is kind of a strange thing to say, especially in a format like this, but I started this channel so that I could help my business. And what I do is I consult with female law firm owners who are really wanting to create more flexible and profitable and sustainable practices. And I know that part of the success of my business in the long term is the ability to reach new people. And so I thought, well, hell, why not start a YouTube channel? And I know that this is definitely not anyone's idea of a fast path to success. But I also knew that I wanted to do something that strategically would work for me in the short term and in the long term. And I'll talk about that later. But part of also what I wanted to do was I wanted the opportunity to showcase how I'm different. So I'm just like you in that I watch other creators and other business people and I see what they're doing and I'm like, oh, well, I don't have 20 years experience in doing this. And so why does my stuff have value? Like we have exactly the same client avatar. What do I have that they don't? And it's been really wonderful for me to begin to explore where my perspective and my, I call it geek load of interests, and this is a new word that I love and I'm sticking to it, where my geek load of interests leads me to be present with people in a way that may be totally different. Actually, when I was practicing, I met other lawyers who also were yoga teachers and meditation instructors. So that wasn't so special. But I never, in my entire career, met another lawyer who was also a massage therapist. And let me tell you, when I would tell people those two different careers, and these were not careers that I had at different times, these were careers I was practicing at the same time. People thought I was actually a different human depending on which career I told them first. And the thing I love about me is that I was always the same. I was always me. I was always helping people. I was always creating individual solutions. Just one was with the law and more with intellectual property, and one was with the body and how they feel and don't experience their body without pain. And to me, it was a very natural combining. It was a way for me to be in my body and a very meditative practice for me to do massages in a way that my legal work, while incredibly intellectually satisfying and allowed me to have impact and help people, was just from an entirely different angle. And so this is something I love. And so I know that I have a way of seeing things that many other people don't have. I'm intensely curious about self-development and writing or language and business and all the structures you can do with your business, and also neuroscience. And so each one of these interests has really led me down to so many rabbit holes of research, but also a way of combining information in a way that is unique to me and something that I can bring to my clients that maybe nobody else can. I also realize that I am very casual and I want to lean into this. I mean, I'm filming in my bedroom, which a lot of people would be like, well, who would hire, especially in the legal profession, who would hire someone who's filming in their bedroom? And I say, yeah, from the outside, from an intellectual point of view, I can see this. And does it get more interesting if I tell you I'm filming from my bedroom in a flat in a small cobblestone town that is located in a European island off of the coast of Morocco? Does that sound more interesting? Does that make you curious about what I can bring to your practice? Maybe, maybe not. But if it does, if this sounds cool or interesting to you, maybe you're my kind of people. And so really leaning into being more me, accepting the things about myself, my ability to connect with people and hear that resonance, that thing. I'm not interested in off-the-shelf solutions. I can talk to you about EBITDA, but that may have no bearing on the real change you want to make in your practice. And I can say, in 50 days, we'll get you 5 few hours a week and you'll still be making the same money. And I can guarantee this as a result. And that may be exactly what you're looking for. And if that's the case, we can connect on that level. But if what you're looking for isn't 5 fewer hours a week, it's something else, maybe something that you haven't entirely defined for yourself, I'm really good at helping people find that. And I'm really good at helping them discover a way they can create that in their own practices. And I think that this is not something that is generally offered because it is not easily replicable. It is not easily standardized and doesn't scale very well. And so it is a place where I can serve my community. I can serve the profession that I actually love. I'm one of those super geeks who really loved law school, so we won't even talk about that. But this is a place that I can bring what I have to offer to people. And so doing this experiment, making these 30 videos has really solidified this for me. It's something I knew, but it's something that I'm leaning into and something that I want to continue to develop more and more as time goes on. The other thing that I have realized is that I'm a collector of stories. And so it's less about my expertise. It's more about, do I have a relevant story that will help you? Two of my favorite stories recently are, and I get these stories from everywhere. I get them from friends. I get them from clients with permission, or I get them from random people on Reddit. This last one comes from somebody on Reddit. And he was talking about how he mentors the people, the attorneys he does not hire. And I cannot tell you how much I love this, how much I think this is magic, because this is something that works on so many levels. And it is something that I, in my wildest imagination, would never have thought of. I did not have the kind of practice where we were constantly trying to hire new attorneys. We were not a high volume practice. And we didn't have a high turnover. And so this particular attorney is working in that kind of practice. And the fact that he would reach out to every single attorney that they did not hire and offer to mentor them and continue to do so and create these connections. Love, 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 love this on all the levels. And so another story that I love to tell comes actually from a friend. And this friend was talking about how they have a special business package in their firm where the attorney actually goes out once a month and works at the client's business. And this is perfect because it's a business practice with a little bit of intellectual property. And the difficulty or the thing they were trying to solve was trying to help their clients come to them before it's an emergency. Basically, if you do business law, you know that the worst case is when they contact you, they've already received a subpoena, right? And the best case is when you can talk to them proactively and help them plan for the future, maybe over several years, of what they need to do in their business to make it more legally compliant, but also to help them plan for the future or whatever they want to build. And so this particular attorney found a way to be physically present and therefore top of mind for these particular business clients who would then casually stop by and discuss what was going on. It was a moment to really connect with these clients and have this deeper level. But mostly it was about being physically present and encouraging these clients to discuss things that they might not bring up and they might not consider, oh, well, I don't want to, contact the attorney and have them charge me and da da da. This was all included in this package. And it, I think, is magic. So these are stories that I collect that I can share. If you are thinking about doing something in your practice and you're like, well, I've never heard of anyone doing something like that before, I probably shouldn't. Or we have this idea that precedent governs not only our legal practice, but also our business practices and our personal lives. And there's nothing further from the truth. Your ability to do something that is so peculiar to you and that so matches how you're great in the world is your secret sauce. It is your superpower. It is the thing that you should do. And I believe this so strongly for my clients that I know that I need to believe this so strongly for myself. And so my entire purpose is to build a business that is all around my strengths. It is all about being more me. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I'm here to keep learning. The first set of 30 videos, my intention was really, do I like this? Like, can I do this? Can I be in front of a camera and talk to people I don't know? None of this was in my comfort zone, and it certainly wasn't in my skill set. And so the entire first set of videos was all about me learning, can I do this? I now have a new experiment, and my new experiment is about going to that next level. And some of it is about, yes, being more me. So the next 20 videos will really be me trying to lean into more of who I am and how I am different from other people wanting to help you change your practice, right? The next thing I think I would like to really develop is my ability to be a speaker, my ability to show up and to teach and do in a way that is more effective, more succinct, more streamlined, and more interesting. And I know that this is a developable skill that I can learn to do better. And so that's part of the purpose. The third part of the skill development and this next level of this experience is for me to increase my production values. Not only can I speak better, but can you hear me? I still haven't gotten the sound dialed in. Maybe it'll be better by the time you hear this, but I'm still learning. I edit my own videos and they are very minimally edited. I basically just cut off the ends, and I would like to learn maybe some filtering and some sound production so that people can actually hear what I'm saying as opposed to being annoyed because the sound is so bad. So that is my next level of experiment. So we'll find out. Next 20 videos, you'll have to let me know. The next thing that I would like to do, and the next lesson I learned, number 3, is I wanted to reframe the purpose. When I first started these videos, I wanted to learn if I would like doing this because the intention behind them is this long-term intention of increasing my discoverability, because I know that the viability of my own business in the long term means that I need to reach out to strangers. I can't just work through friends or people I know. And so it is about that long-term viability. And it also is about deepening the connection with people that don't know me so well. And I think that videos are an amazing way to do that. That you, over time, can get to know someone in a way through their videos. And maybe they're not showing you all of them. Maybe they're just showing parts of them. But I think it's really difficult to not be yourself unless you're entirely scripted. And if you watched any of my videos, you can tell that this is not my gift. And this goes into leaning into my strengths because scripting is not my gift. Being in the moment, absolutely. And so it's more about being in the moment. This is where I'm good. Also, if we're talking about skill development, truthfully, I am uninterested in trying to fix the places where I'm not so great because I know that the growth there is only incremental. What I'm really interested in is leaning into the places where I'm already pretty good and creating excellence there because I love excellence. This is what I wanted as a lawyer. This is what I want as a person. And so this is what I'm wanting here in this practice and for this next experimental process. The other thing that I wanted is more practice. And this is really the short term. This is the thing that motivates me right now to continue to do these next 20 videos, because I know that these next 20 videos are going to look nothing like what my channel would look like, hopefully 6 months from now, if I continue, right? Because the experiment always gives me the choice of stopping. But the idea is that if I can compress these videos in and do them on this every weekday basis for this particular period, I will then again have lots and lots of data about what works for me and what doesn't. And so I can practice speaking. I can practice who I want to be and how I want to show up in the world, and particularly in this space and in our profession, because I think that there are a lot of voices speaking to the legal community who are professional marketers, who are salespeople, who are in the AI sphere and are willing to develop tech for you. And there are also voices for skills development and the actual practice of law. And I don't hear a lot are people who work with smaller firms, even solo practitioners, who understand what it's like who are actually a lawyer and understand that the rules of ethics prevent us from doing certain things when we advertise our business, or they prevent us from charging in particular ways or compensating in particular ways because of the rules or the limits of our profession specifically. And I know this because I practiced, and I not only practiced, but I was licensed in 3 states, California, New York, and Texas. And let me tell you, there are not many states that are more different, except maybe Louisiana, but we'll leave them entirely aside, right? So I know that I come at this from a different perspective, and I think that this is a voice that needs to be heard. I think that this is something we need to talk about. I can tell you what it was like to build a firm and work on a firm while caring for a parent who had a terminal illness. And this is a very particular perspective that not many people have, luckily. And I think we need more and different voices here. And so I'm willing to be one, and I would like to be one. I think that this is my calling. And so it's not only how I'm going to show up, but also what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we can do things differently. I think that we have not been served by the traditional bindings of our profession. I think it's time for a revolution. I think it's time to change the way we practice law. And I think we have a wonderful opportunity to make things different and to make them work for us. And this is what I'm called to do. The other thing that I would like to do is talk about how can we make things different? How can I make things different? And a lot of what I'm doing in this particular experiment for me is, how do I walk my talk? If I'm telling you, change your practice to change your life, then this is what I need. I need to change my practice to change my life. I need everything that I do to fit with my particular strengths in a way that brings me this kind of abundant profit, as well as the freedom that I really crave in my work. And so I want to walk the talk that I want to help others get. This is why I'm here, right? This is what I'm doing. So to wrap up, 3 things that I learned. I want to really focus on my next 20 videos. I want to think more deeply about who I'm showing up for and who I'm serving. I want to talk about things that maybe aren't spoken about, or talk about the same things but bring a new perspective, right? I want to do it in a different way. I want to be here on video. I want to be in conversations. I love writing, right? So these are the things I'm going to lean into in this moment. I'm also going to try to bring more case studies from actual clients. So I'm actually looking for visibility clients. I'm looking for a couple people to come work with me, and work with me actually at a discounted rate, so that we can use the things that they accomplish, the things that they are able to do in their practice, as an example for other clients. And it's something that I want to do very mindfully and start there right from the beginning. The other thing I want to do is I want to focus on developing more in the lines of where I already am for my channel. I love the co-workings on Fridays, and in fact, I'm going to do one soon. So I invite you to come join me. If there's something that you have been meaning to work on, come to our co-working. We all get together. We put it in the chat. Today I'm working on so-and-so, nothing client specific, but if you have a business idea that you want to develop, you have an idea for hosting brown bag lunches that are CLEs so that you can make connections with other attorneys in your area. Like, these are the things that I kind of love. And these are the things that we don't do because we don't take time to do them. This time on Fridays is your time. It's 10 a.m. Central Time, and I invite you to join. We're just doing 25 minutes for now, so let's get started on that project and get going. Usually starting's the hardest part. So continuing the co-working on Fridays. I also invite you to submit questions for Halo, Help a Lawyer Out. It's every Tuesday. I've been publishing these, and I love them because I think that there are many ways to answer a simple question. I mean, if you've gone on Reddit, you know, right? And this is the chance to bring this outsider perspective to some of the same questions and hopefully help you think about the problem in a new way so that you can discover your very own answer to the problem. I also have a series called Rewrite Your Law Firm Life, which is looking at the challenges and the vision you have for your law firm and looking at it through the lens of a story and creating a story structure around this. So you know where you are now, you know where you want to go, and you see these obstacles in your way, and you begin to look at how you might overcome them. And when you see it as an adventure story, it becomes more fun than, oh, here's my quarterly goal for Q2, and what are we going to do? And these are our action steps. It's fun. It's fun to see it as an adventure. It's fun to see the obstacles as cartoonish villains that might give you a way to overcome them in a different way than you've ever considered before. And it is certainly more interesting. So I'll give you that. We have, I don't know, lots of interesting things. You'll have to see. You'll have to check it out. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me for these first 30 videos. I hope to see you for the next 20. As always, I invite comments or send me an email. I'm Moira, and it's hello@lawtransform.com. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.